guys, it's George with Firehouse Music, and I'm here with one of my favorite people in the world. He's one of my guitar teachers here. We were roommates for a while. We've been close friends for, I don't even know, forever.
Long time.
And yeah, David Wesley, ladies and gentlemen, he's awesome. And he's gonna school me on the ways of shred guitar. Get ready.
All right, so we're here. I'm here with George. We're going to talk about shred guitar, and I think a good place to start with that is just a brief definition of what that is, because not everybody might know about it. Basically, shred, when you hear that referred to in terms of guitar, refers to extreme playing, particularly in terms of speed. Fast playing, very fast, is typically what people think of as shred. It's often associated with more metal players, but that's by no means the limit to what players are falling into that umbrella of shred. Again, jazz guys like Alan Holdsworth and Sean Lane, the guy from Dixie Dregs, what's his name?
Oh, Steve Morse.
Steve Morse. He's a shredder, but he's not a metal guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I would consider Guthrie Govan, all those guys
Scott
fall
Henderson.
into that. Yeah, but then there's the traditional like Yngwie Malmsteens and the
Frankenbali. How can you talk about jazz and Frankenbali?
Frankenbali is a great example and one of my big heroes. But these are all people that have wildly different styles, wildly different genres of music, but they all fall into that umbrella of shred. So it's very easy to fall into the trap of thinking, well, shred is just about melting faces. It's just about extreme speed and nothing else. And some guys do play from that mental focal point. But for me, shred, what it really represents is the elimination of barriers between my musical vision and what I can actually do. So if I, for instance, am improvising over a rhythm and I hear this fast cascade of notes that ends in a huge bend, and I don't have the technique for it, then I can't execute that vision. I don't get to hear what I heard in my head, and neither does my listeners. They don't get to hear that musical vision. Instead, I have to do something else that takes the place of what I originally heard or what I intended because of the limitations of my hands. And so that's why I'm interested in shred, is I'm interested in removing all the barriers I can between what I hear in my head and what I can execute on the instrument in real time. So a lot of the techniques that are associated with shred, you can go back to Eddie Van Halen's two-hand tapping. That's where you take two fingers on the... Yes, George, you got it. You're going to tap. You're going to do hammer-ons with your right hand, and then pull-offs by tugging the string, and that will make notes ring from down here. So you can pluck an open string, hammer, hammer, tap, pull, pull, and then you can take that to farther and farther extremes. You can involve more than one finger. So that's, I'm just using a pentatonic shape here, and then tapping all at the 17th fret with this hand and these two fingers. So that's what tapping is. Then any discussion about shred, of course, you're going to be talking about pick strategies. That's mainly what shred entails, is a lot of different techniques with your picking hand. Now, any discussion of shred is going to have a phrase that's going to recur over and over and over again, and that is muscle memory. The speeds that you're going to eventually be shooting for with shred guitar are faster than you can think. You can't think about the individual notes you're playing. You have to have done them starting slowly and clean, and then gradually build up your speed, and then you're depending on your hands being able to execute these things. You might say to your brain might say E minor arpeggio, but you're not thinking of the individual notes when you're going, you know what I mean? That's like 20 notes in a split second. Your brain is not going to be able to calculate that. Your hands have to be able to do that on their own. And so muscle memory is absolutely crucial to any sort of fast playing. It's crucial pretty much to any guitar playing. Things like vibrato and bends, those are all depend heavily on muscle memory. But shred in particular they're one and the same essentially. You do it until your hands can do it at that speed. And it's no different than training if you're in martial arts or if you're in gymnastics. You have to do movements over and over again with your body in order to execute them. When you're a gymnast and you're in the middle of your third flip, your brain has no idea what's going on, and you're depending 100% on your muscle memory to land you on your feet. And it's the same with the extreme guitar playing. So the first technique that I would show a student in terms of getting your feet wet, in terms of these different pick strategies, is alternate picking, because all of the other pick strategies are born from that. So for instance, I could do economy picking, but you cannot economy pick on the same string. You have to alternate pick, and then when you go from one string to the next, then you'll drag the pick. We can get more into that later. But to get started, George, I'm going to show you a one string, single string alternate pick lick, and it's going to have two sections. The first one is going to start at the 15th fret, and then we're going to have our pointer at the 12th fret, and use your ring finger for 15, and we're going to go 15, 12, 14, 15, 14, 12. And I would prefer you use your middle and ring, because the next section has your pinky going to 17, and I don't want you to have to alternate. I want you to have a finger ready. Yeah. Good. Yeah. Excellent. That's exactly right. So there's more technique involved in that than just the directions. First of all, he's got his palm resting on the bridge. You need to have an anchor point, and we're pivoting on that anchor point. So you're not hovering over the guitar like this. You're going to have no idea where your pick is in terms of the string. And by positioning our palm on the bridge and resting it when we do fast picking like that, it's enabling that muscle memory, because the bridge is stationary. You put your palm on it, your hand's going to be in the same place every time you go to pick. And that way your picking hand will learn where those strings fall underneath the pick, and you'll be able to go across the strings at high speed. But if you're hovering over the strings, your hand can be anywhere in this plane, it could be anywhere in this plane, and you're going to have to visually access the strings in order to accurately hit them. And even then, you still won't be able to get as fast. So palm goes on the bridge. You can apply a little palm mute to the notes if you want a more percussive attack, or you can apply you can have a smoother sound. But yeah, that would be very. Now that would be very reminiscent of a sound that you might hear somebody like Al Di Meola make. Even on acoustic guitars, you can hear these guys do this stuff. It's not a metal shred. Is not a metal mentality. It literally is just about virtuosic playing. It's about, when you go to see an incredible violinist, those ooh-ah moments are not coming from a slow passage. They're coming from when they put the spurs to it, when they burn through an arpeggio or something. That's when you get the shiver, and the arms jump up on the hairs jump up on your arms. So that's a good starting place. And you can also work through your scales using alternate picking. 3-note per string is the way you want to go with that. Excellent. Yeah, and you can work through your modes and your scales using alternate picking, and over time you'll get fast at it. Your right hand will learn again where the strings fall underneath it, and you'll be able to pick up speed that way. Another thing that I want to point out in terms of learning how to get speed is that the path to speed is through slowness. And that sounds counterintuitive, but like I keep saying, we're depending on muscle memory. And for muscle memory to work, or to as efficiently get that muscle memory to start happening, you want to have as few mistakes as possible. So if you're practicing faster than you can practice accurately, and you find yourself making a mistake, particularly if you're making the same mistake, like when you're crossing strings, or if you're consistently hitting a wrong note in the same place, and guess what? That's the muscle memory you're developing, and you'll have to undo that just to get back to square one. So it's important, and I think there's even a name for that concept. It's called perfect practice. And that's where you want to play slow enough that you can accurately play with no mistakes through the exercise that you're doing, and then gradually increase the metronome setting, or increase the speed that you're doing it very slowly. If you find yourself making mistakes, if you're doing 10 repetitions of an exercise and you've made a mistake on 2 of them, that's still too many. That's 2 wasted reps. So slow down a little bit until you're at least getting 9 out of 10, and then once it starts to get very easy, then bump it up a little bit and work your way up. And that's how you get fast. Trying to just immediately go crazy is gonna get you nowhere. You will make no progress. You might even think you are making progress. It might sound fast, but it's not gonna be clean. And
Fast noise.
Fast noise, that's
Yeah.
right. And unless the audience can discern every note that you're playing, it's not going to sound fast to them no matter how hard you're working. The notes have to be clear. They have to be clear and separate from each other. Then you can hear the speed. Then the audience can feel it. So slow and steady wins the race, and then gradually build your speed up until you're melting faces. All right, the next thing I would probably talk about is different pick strategies. Another one, so a lot of pick strategies are involved in solving problems created by other pick strategies. So if you see me go through a scale alternate picking, I'm going to end up like this: down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Right there, that crossing that string, I've got an up on the A and then a down on the D. And that's called inside picking. I'm picking on the insides of the strings. And that is well known as a speed bump in shred playing. It's slow. It's not impossible. You watch guys like Paul Gilbert or Rusty Cooley. Right there, that inside picking. So that's a speed bump, and you can practice your way through it. Guys like Paul Gilbert and Rusty Cooley have mastered alternate picking to where that inside, when they hit that, you don't even notice.
They're smooth. They're incredible.
Super smooth and so clean. But it will give you trouble. It's much easier to go outside than inside. So a technique that solves that is called economy picking, and that's where you're going to, every time you cross strings, you're going to drag the pick. So it would be like this: down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down. Good. Excellent. And the reverse would be up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up. That was really good form. Really good form. So that's a more challenging strategy than alternate picking, but you can see you have to have alternate picking in order to execute economy picking, because it's very easy to drag the pick along strings. I can get all 6 strings this fast. So the notes, you have to learn to control the drags, the sweeped part, and it can't exceed the speed of the alternate picked part. So you're limited to the speed of your alternate pick. So you have to start there. Start with alternate picking, and then in order to solve some of those alternate picking problems, you can move into economy picking. Now, economy picking creates problems of its own. It's got also an issue. So it solves some of the alternate picking problems, but it doesn't solve all the problems. So I'll show you what the problem is. The problem happens when I go to change directions. So if I'm going to change directions using alternate picking, I'm just going to do it on these high strings. So I'm going down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down. Now I've got a downstroke, and my next note is an up on the next string. That's also inside picking, and it throws us out of our economy. It throws us out of our suite. So that's an issue that is solved by the next pick strategy I'll talk about. But the way that Frank Gambale, a very well-known guy that you should definitely listen to, who is a master of economy picking, solves for that, is that he skips the second to last note. He just leaves it out. So he would go like this: down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And if I just wanted to change strings on them in the middle, like this, would be down, up, down, up, down. I'm sorry, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, or down, up, down. So he's going to leave off a note. And that puts you back on track. Then you're back in your suite. Now,
Can I
yeah,
say
absolutely.
something? So Inve would do something similar. He'd address the problem a little bit differently. He would do a pull-off in the middle
Yeah.
of the sequence. So he'd do a pull-off,
Mm-hmm.
and then you end up with the same. You end up with the two strokes, and then you are back in the game.
That's another great solution. And when you listen to anybody play, you would never be able to tell that he did that. It sounds so smooth and it sounds very even. You wouldn't know that he did a pull off instead of a picked note. But he's Ingve Malmsteen. He's incredible.
Yeah, we can't all be.
Sadly. All right, so what I think of as the final solution of pick strategies then would come in the form of incorporating plucks with these fingers. Now, this is not something that I have moved into yet. I'm still at the phase where I'm trying to master economy picking. And so I spent most of my guitar career alternate picking, and then I got really into economy picking, and now I'm getting close to where I'm happy with that. And then I'm going to move into the final boss, which is a guy named Marshall Harrison. You can look him up on YouTube. Has coined the term swybrid picking. So it's based around hybrid picking, which involves holding your pick. So it's a combination of flat picking and finger picking. That's exactly right. Very good. By incorporating full sweeps, which I haven't talked about yet, but that's where you take you break up a chord into an arpeggio and you drag the pick across the full set of them. Yep. So I'm sweeping through in a controlled strum. So by incorporating that idea with economy picking, alternate picking, and then combining them all, then you solve basically all those problems. And if you watch Marshall Harrison, he's really an insane player. Technically, his technique is incredible, and it's so smooth and so fast and so effortless. That's another beautiful thing about the increasing levels of these pick strategies, is that once mastered, while each one gets consecutively more difficult to master, once mastered, it looks like you're barely trying. Like when you watch these guys like Gambale, so watch Rusty Cooley play. He's an alternate pick shredder, and you'll see him sawing at the guitar like a maniac, just sawing at it. He's incredible, and his technique is incredible. But that's what it looks like a lot of work, because it is. He's moving a different direction with every movement. Then you watch Gambale, and it looks like he's very chill. He's dragging the pick through. A lot of times he's still picking every note, but he's economy picking and sweeping through that. And then you watch Marshall Harrison, and as he incorporates that, mostly his middle finger to pluck notes, and then incorporating that with the sweeps and the economy picking, it looks like he's barely trying at all. So at the highest levels, you look like, and you feel like when you play, a grace and an ease as you navigate these tremendously difficult passages. And that's my goal. That's where I want to get to. Ultimately, that's what and it all ends up. It's all about that picking hand. So I think we've talked about most of the techniques that you would associate with shred, except for legato. Legato is just a word that means smooth, and it's going to be playing a sequence of notes. Yep, that's exactly right, George. So it's a series of hammer-ons and pull-offs, and so a good exercise for that, or it's a useful lick actually, is if you were to take that same lick I showed you a second ago where we did but try just plucking the first note and then hammer pull the other. Good, and now if we do that in this configuration here, we're just going to go down, I guess it would be mixolydian. Yeah, nice. So you see, we're keeping our pick in our hand, but it sounds tapped. And yeah, and if you're good at legato, you would want to watch guys like Alan Holdsworth. He plays from legato quite a bit. Or Satriani does too, yeah. And it's a super useful skill, and you don't have to pick. So it's actually a good entry to fast playing if you can get to where you're capable of doing the hammer and pulls and making the notes ring out clearly like George is doing. then that's a pathway to speed that doesn't involve the hard work of learning these different pick strategies, because you're just doing it all with your left hand. So by combining all of these different pick strategies and the practice methods that we discussed, you can take away some of these barriers that prevent you from executing the things that you may hear in your head. You may have these, musicians hear music in their heads, and if you're writing a song or you're composing a solo or you're improvising with some of your homies and you hear something in your head, you don't want to not be able to do it. You want to be able to, because who knows how enjoyable that might be to the listeners to hear the full fruition of your mind's eye and the melodies that you're hearing come out of the amplifier, right? So anyway, do you have any questions you'd like to ask or anything you want to add?
No, I think you've covered. I have the camera on you, so people can see me.
Yeah.
They can hear me, they can see me.
Yeah.
No, like I think you've covered. It's a fantastic overview of just what I call single note guitar technique, like all the ways that you can play melodies on the guitar with single notes. I switched to a clean sound so we'd have contrast, so people would know when you're playing, when I'm playing.
I got you.
I think everything you said was good. So what's something cool that you've been working on, and that maybe I don't know?
Okay. Well, guitar's actually evolving quick right now. If you're in touch with the Instagram guitar community and the YouTube guitar community, every day it seems like somebody's coming out. Guys like Spyro Ducius and Matteo Mancuso, I think his name is.
Oh, one of my students talks about that guy a lot. Yeah.
He shreds with his fingertips, like a bass player.
Or a classical
guitar player.
Yeah.
Insane technique, incredible player.
Yeah.
One of my very favorites. But there's a guy named Tosin Abasi who plays for a band called Animals as Leaders, and he's been innovating on the guitar for as long as I can remember hearing about his band. He's always doing things that I haven't really heard before, and he's got a pick strategy that he has come up with and he's been using for years, and it's kind of blowing up on in the community right now, that he calls selective picking. Can you give me a clean sound?
Yeah. Yeah, you just killed the delay.
Okay, so selective picking is really exciting to me because as you may have gathered, my special interest is pick strategies. I'm infatuated with them and I want to master them all. So when I heard about this new one called selective picking, I wanted to know all about it. And it's fascinating and it's extremely useful because you can make melodies using this technique that you cannot make using any other pick technique. It can only be done in the way that I'm going to show you. And that opens up more melodies that you can execute on the guitar, that if you hear it in your head, now you have another pathway to be able to execute it. So I'm not good at this yet, I haven't really dug deep in it, but I'm going to give you the basics of it so that you can start messing with it yourselves. George, what I want to do is we're just going to take an octave here at E, and first thing I want you to do, so the idea is we're going to hammer notes from nowhere. That means, right, exactly so. And then we're going to selectively pick some notes. So the first thing what we're going to do is we're going to hammer this, and then I want you to double pick it down up. And then do the same with the octave. And it's kind of unintuitive at first, but let me show you what that sounds like. So it's kind of trippy. It sounds kind of like a delay.
And you're playing it even.
Yes.
I want to play triplets picked when I hear that.
Yes. It feels so strange at first.
Yeah, definitely never done that before.
So-
I can't fake sucking this butt.
You're doing great. It's very unintuitive to do this. It feels so strange. And when you watch somebody do it, if you're a guitar player and you watch somebody that's good at this technique, it looks wrong. It looks like he's not doing, my eyes are not seeing what I'm hearing. And so when I first saw him do it, I was like, what on earth is he doing? So you can imagine if you were jamming just like with some guys, just in pentatonic, like and imagine coming in from a solo like. Let me show you another one. Let's do a fifth interval here at A and 7, and then up pick the G string.
Oh, I see.
The G, yeah. Isn't that cool? Now try it with the double pick.
How are you getting the percussive? Are you palm muting the?
Palm muting everything.
Oh, I see.
The guys that really dig into this technique are using a lot of compression on their guitars to make everything really even. We're just raw dogging it in here. Nice.
Okay.
Nice. Now, how else would you execute that series of notes? There's no way to pick it that fast.
No way.
It's impossible. It can only be done with selective picking. Let me show you one of my favorites. You're gonna like this one. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna hammer again from nowhere up a G. Like
So
that.
a G minor arpeggio.
Yeah. We go straight up. Start. Yeah.
Are you hitting
there
that?
you go.
Oh, G minor pentatonic.
Right, pentatonic. And then back down. So since we're in G, what we're going to do is we're going to double pick the open G string between each one of those notes. And that sounds crazy. Uh-huh. Good, George. Isn't it weird? It feels so strange.
Yeah, it feels really weird.
Listen to it. I'm going to try and build up some speed so you get the effect. We can try and go up. Oh man, is that hard. But it's so cool. Now, how the heck else would you play that?
Yeah.
That melody. You
Yeah,
cannot
you
play that
can't.
melody any other way except through selective picking.
That's wild.
So
Yeah.
anyway, that's why pick strategies get me excited, because they unlock doors. They unlock doors of melody, and I don't like having barriers when it comes to my musical vision. I want to be able to do it on the guitar, and you should too. Anyway, I hope whoever watches this finds it useful. We've covered a lot of ground in a short time, so if you want to get more in depth, leave a message for us in the comments. If you have any questions about a specific technique you would like us to go any further deeper into, let us know, and we'll hook you up here at Firehouse Music. We aim to please.
So there you have it, guys. Shred guitar. I hope you got something useful from there. There's lots of stuff that what you selected picking thing. Never done it in my life. Really cool. I'm gonna be practicing it. I don't think I'll get as good because he's got a pretty good head start with me.
No, wait till you watch these guys that are good at it. You'll be like, oh, that's what it is.
yeah, no, but it was great. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy. As usual, just leave a like, comment anything that you want to see next. And come check us out at Firehouse Music if you want lessons in person or online. Just all the contact information is going to be right there in the video description. Just check us out, and I'll see you guys next time.